On October 5, 2017, a single line of text lit up news feeds worldwide. Harvey Weinstein is a monster, and the entertainment industry would never be the same. Hollywood's most powerful producer, the co-founder of Miramax and the mastermind behind countless award-winning films, had been silently pulling the strings of power for decades, while hiding a litany of sexual assaults behind the glitz and glamour of red carpet premieres. The date marked the moment when whispered rumors finally burst into a tidal wave of accusation, setting the stage for a courtroom drama that would become a watershed moment for the #Me Too movement. Harvey Weinstein's rise began in the 1970s, when a young, ambitious salesman from Queens, New York, started his career at the William Morris Agency. By the early 1980s, he had co-founded Miramax with his brother Bob, championing independent cinema and turning low-budget titles like Sex, Lies, and Videotape into cultural touchstones. The company's meteoric success turned the Weinstein brothers into kingmakers. They could launch careers with a single yes or end them with a cold no. In the 1990s, Weinstein's influence only grew, and in 2005 he launched the Weinstein Company, a studio that produced blockbusters such as The King's Speech, The Artist, and Silver Linings Playbook. Behind the accolades, a darker pattern emerged. Former actresses, models, and assistants began to recount encounters in which Weinstein demanded favors, threatened careers, or used his position to coerce sexual acts. Those stories were often dismissed as industry gossip, silenced by non-disclosure agreements and the fear of career suicide. The turning point arrived when investigative journalist Jodi Kantor and New York Times reporter Megan Twohey published a groundbreaking exposé on October 5, 2017. Their reporting detailed allegations from over a dozen women, ranging from the early 1990s to the mid-2010s, describing a consistent modus operandi, inviting women to his hotel suite under the pretense of discussing roles, then forcing them into sexual acts or threatening professional retaliation when they resisted. The article ignited a cascade of revelations, prompting more than 80 women to come forward publicly, including high-profile figures such as Rose McGowan, Ashley Judd, and Mira Sorvino. The cultural shockwave was immediate. Studios cut ties, awards were rescinded, and the term Weinstein effect entered the lexicon as a shorthand for the broader reckoning against sexual misconduct. The legal battle began in earnest in May 2018, when the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office filed multiple felony charges against Weinstein, accusing him of forcibly raping a former production assistant in a hotel room in 2013. The case, officially titled People v. Weinstein, centered on two primary charges: forcible rape and sexual assault of a second woman in a separate incident. The prosecution painted a damning picture, a pattern of predatory behavior corroborated by testimonies from victims, hotel staff, and even former Weinstein executives who admitted to orchestrating a system of intimidation. The defense, meanwhile, painted Weinstein as a misunderstood titan of the industry, arguing that the encounters were consensual, that the victims had ulterior motives, and that the statute of limitations should bar prosecution. The trial, which commenced on January 6, 2020, unfolded in a Los Angeles courtroom under intense media scrutiny. The prosecution opened with a harrowing account from the primary victim, who described how Weinstein entered her hotel room, locked the door, and assaulted her while she was still in her bathrobe. The jury heard recordings of Weinstein's phone calls, wherein he boasted about his sexual conquests, and saw a timeline of alleged assaults that stretched across 3 decades. Witnesses took the stand with trembling voices, recalling instances where Weinstein's promises of career advancement turned into threats of blacklisting. In a rare moment of vulnerability, the defense cross-examined the victims, asking probing questions about their personal lives, an approach that many observers deemed an attempt to shift blame onto the women. After 6 weeks of testimony, closing arguments were delivered in early February. The prosecution urged the jury to see beyond Hollywood's glitter and recognize a pattern of abuse of power, emphasizing that the consistency of the accounts made the claims beyond a reasonable doubt. The defense countered by questioning the credibility of the witnesses, highlighting the passage of time and the lack of physical evidence, while suggesting that the accusations were part of a broader cultural crusade against men in power. On March 19, 2020, the jury returned a verdict that reverberated through the entertainment world and the broader conversation about consent. Weinstein was found guilty on 2 of the 3 felony charges, forcible rape and a crime involving sexual assault. He was sentenced to 23 years in prison, a term that reflected both the severity of the crimes and the symbolic weight of holding a once untouchable mogul accountable. The conviction marked the first time a Hollywood titan faced a criminal judgment for sexual assault, sending a clear message that wealth and influence could no longer shield predatory behavior. The aftermath of the trial sparked a ripple effect far beyond the courtroom. Studios and agencies instituted stricter harassment policies, and numerous industry insiders called for systemic reforms, including the establishment of independent ombudsmen to handle complaints. The #Me Too movement, already gaining momentum, surged forward, empowering survivors worldwide to share their stories. In the legal arena, Weinstein's case prompted lawmakers to reconsider statutes of limitation for sexual offenses, leading to reforms in several states that extended the window for filing such claims. Subscribe to The Verdict for more stories like this.